Hey everyone, today I'll be talking about scales and modes, the main 7 that are found within the first scale, the major scale. I'll be going through the basics in C, and then I'll give an example of how I get familiar with the fretboard with all of them at the end, and that'll be in F. So with C, we start with C, and then it's all no sharps or flats, so it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So on the guitar, starting on the A string, it'll be the 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. Then on D string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. On the G string, it'll be B and then C. So, and then the modes that come from that come from each note within the C scale. So you start with C major, then you go to D Dorian, E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, A minor, and B Lydian and B Locrian. So for D Dorian, starting on the A string, it'll be fret 5, 7, 8. Then on the D string, 5, 7, 9. And then on the G string it'll be 5, 7. So then E Phrygian starts on the 7th on the A string, moves to 8, then to 10. Then on the D string it goes from 7, 9, and then 10. And then G string 7, 9. So it'll sound like. And then next is F Lydian, which starts on 8, 10, 12 on the A string, 9, 10, 12 on the D string, and then 9, 10 on the G string. So that'll sound like. Then the next one is G Mixolydian, which goes from 10, 12, 14 on the A string, 10, 12, 14 on the D string, and then 10, 12 on the G string. So that'll sound like. Then your A minor scale, 12, 14, 15 on the A string, 12, 14, 15 on D string, 12, 14 on G string. So that'll sound like. Your Locrian scale on B is going to go 14, 15, 17 on the A string, 14, 15, 17 on the D string, 14, 16 on the G string. So that'll sound like. So those are your basic scales and modes. And those can be obviously moved around. If I wanted to go from C to E flat, I could easily use the same shape on the same string. So and then it'd be easy to ascend because it's the same patterns over and over on these strings and the same intervals used between notes. And so on. So a technique that I like to use to get familiar with any scales is it's 3 notes per string, and then once you once you get to the top string, you slide over and descend the next mode or scale. So in this case, I'll be using F major, and the only difference between F major and C major is there's a B flat instead of a regular B like in C. So here's the example that I like to use to get familiar with it is obviously you can do that backwards, or you can descend and then ascend instead of ascending and then descending. It's also, you can move it around to even C. And any other scale. What I like to do is I like to start in F, make my way up, make my way back down, then start on F sharp, make my way up, make my way back down, and then just ascend. All the scales. When you get too high, it's a reversible pattern, so say you want to do it in E and don't want to mess with the open notes right here, you can always go and do it backwards down until you get to the last mode you can get to on the strings without having to hit any open notes. So that's all I have right now. So we went through major, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, minor, Locrian, and then back to major. And I showed you an example of how I like to practice to familiarize myself with the frets and any scale that I would want to play in. So, yeah, that's all for today.
I'm a poison flowing through you.